So we are 5 minutes away from the UFC 250 Freedom White House card, and as you can see, there's footage behind me on the television screen of what's going down on the White House lawn, and this has been quite the circus. Between the threats of rain, thunder, and lightning, you also have the courtrooms like pretending, fake threatening to come and try to shut it down. You have UFC fighters, Sean Strickland, big right-wing nut, Bryce Mitchell, another right-wing nut, and then perhaps one of the biggest right-wing nuts of all, Joe Rogan, are speaking out against the White House event. Pandemonium and chaos is just surrounding this event. Literal, biblical plagues are happening. You have the gnats and the mosquitoes addition, along with the rain and hail and thunder, who knows. It is a shite storm, 30-mile-an-hour winds coming through. So, will this event even happen? Who knows? I am about to go get beer. As soon as I finish pressing the record button to turn off this video, I'm gonna come back, watch the whole damn thing, and I'm gonna report back to you later. But just in the meantime, wow, it has been quite a ride, and this is actually me getting off the train of being a UFC fan. It's been, 10, 15 years I've been watching this stuff, and their alignment with the Trump administration, Trump himself, I feel like they whitewashed his return to the mainstream with him going to the events after the January 6th riots and all that stuff. Luke Thomas did a whole report on it. You can watch that on his channel. He breaks it down a whole lot better. But between the Trumpification of the UFC and the kind of dip in quality and the Paramount deal and all this right-wing nonsense, more money, less quality, I just don't really feel like being a fan anymore. But I can't take my eyes away from the car wreck that is going on. So I'm going out with a bang. Hopefully, if they get struck by lightning, they are too. I've been your boy Diesel Tyme. I'll be back in a minute. All right, I am back, and you know what? This is my last UFC event. It's America's 250th birthday, gosh darn it. So I upped the stakes a little bit, and I went and got some tequila. So we'll see how that goes. But in the meantime, doesn't look like the event started. They got some big fist on the lawn. I don't know what that's about. I guess Donald Trump wants a big fist up in the cage. Ooh, editor, cut that out. So in the meantime, I thought I'd do a little talking about the fighters because that's why I watch. My mom is one of those people who cannot stand the violence. She doesn't understand how did I raise a son who likes to watch cage fighting, and it's just the personalities. I like these guys. They're people that I might want to be friends with, hang out with. So starting at the beginning of the card, let me take a look at my notes. I dropped my notes. Cut that out. We got Diego Lopez, and he just seems like a real chill guy. He fought for the title and he got his butt kicked, but that didn't reduce my enjoyment of the guy. He just seems like a real cool dude. Brazilian, lives in Mexico, speaks Spanish and English and Portuguese, and like I said, just like the coolest guy that you could possibly have as a cage fighter. Like I said, a lot of these guys are people that you would probably want to have as a friend, and I honestly haven't even really heard of the guy he's fighting, so of course I'm gonna go with the chill, super cool dude with the freaking Peso Pluma haircut and the cowboy hat. Next we have Bo Nickel, similar situation here. Not a guy that I even particularly want to root for. He's kind of a pretentious prick, but I like the confidence. You know, he kind of rubs some fans the wrong way, but he's a good wrestler, he's a good fighter. I'm rooting for this guy to evolve as a fighter and a person, not a person, but you know, like as a media personality. Hopefully he can learn to endear himself to the fans a little bit more. He doesn't have to be the heel. He could learn to play the face, but in due time. Again, I haven't really heard of the guy he's fighting, so go Bo Nickel by default. This next one is an interesting one because Ayman Zahabi falls into the category of guy I have barely heard of. However, during the last week or so, seeing the press conferences, the weigh-ins and all that, he seems like a Diego Lopez kind of chill dude. Not as chill, not as cool, he's a little more square, but he's got charm, he's got charisma, he's got a clean cut. I mentioned like being the baby face versus being the heel. He's a great baby face, and he's facing one of the most obnoxious heels who everyone seems to love like he's a baby face. The dude had his freaking phone out at the weigh-in or press conference, whatever it was. Like, he's a freaking teenager with silly haircut, can't get off his freaking phone off social media during the, I'm not even gonna say his name, you know who I'm talking about, or you don't, and God bless you. But yeah, I often hate that dude. I hope he gets electrocuted on the White House lawn by the lightning. Yeah, fuck that guy. And so by default, I'm rooting for Ayman Zahabi. Next up, we have a similar situation, although I don't hate the Incredible Hulk that much. I think it's just an obnoxious gimmick, but he's going up against the Black Beast, Derek Lewis. I'm rooting for the Beast, Derek Lewis. My balls is sweaty. My balls is gonna be sweaty, or his balls are gonna be sweaty tonight at the White House. I can tell you that much. It's gonna be 100 degrees if you adjust for humidity, it's gonna feel like 100 degrees, and them shorts gonna be tight, so it's gonna be sweaty up in them shorts. You can bet that. And if I was a betting man, I would probably not bet my money on Derek Lewis, but I'm not betting. So I'm betting my UFC fandom on Derek Lewis, and if he loses, oh well, but goddamn, I'm rooting for him. And even this Hokit guy, I know it's just a gimmick. It's a kind of Colby Covington-like gimmick, which I don't personally like, but I don't dislike Josh Hokit as a person for trying something new, for trying to be interesting. He's getting a lot of attention. He's only had a couple fights, and here he is on the White House lawn, so I'm not gonna be a hater. I'm just rooting for Derek Lewis. And I don't have to look at my notes anymore. I think we're good. We got the big boys on deck. Alex Pereira, I should have saved him for last. He's my favorite fighter on this card. He's going up against Cyril Gane, who I'm not a big fan of. He's a big eye poker, hits people in the back of the head, probably the groin too. So, you know, he's good. You know, he moves like a cat. He's everything people say he is. Big, fast, efficient, all that. Good striker, smart striker, intelligent, all that. But he's also a cheater. I don't like cheaters. And you can say, oh, you know, there's a lot of chaos going on, but he's always poking people in the eye. He's always hitting people in the back of the head. So that shit is not cool. I'm rooting for Poatan because he's my favorite fighter. The dude is a freaking rock. Literally his emoji, like the rock head, is his symbol, and like dude is just rock solid. Emotionally, he is the king of freaking just being, like I said, like a rock. He is stoic to the core, always steps up to the big moments, doesn't seem like flabbergasted by the pressure. Dude is a real one, and I'm just praying for him to be the first triple champ, not to discredit Triple C, but you know what I'm saying, 3-division UFC champion Alex Pereira. Let's go, Chama! And then finally is the main event, Justin Gaethje versus Ilia Topuria. This is just a huge clash of styles. Like personality wise, you got the blue collar, all-American Justin Gaethje, no nonsense, versus the like narcissistic European flamboyant, I'm the best. I'm like, even though he's a wannabe like B-level like copycat Conor McGregor, like Timu Conor McGregor, he's lightweight, a better Conor than Conor ever was. If you're the, you know, like I don't like Conor, I hate Conor, but I also don't really like Ilia Topuria. I can see why Justin Gaethje said, I can see why your wife divorced you. I wouldn't want to be around you either. The guy has a huge freaking ego, the size of Texas, and you know, 17 wins, a whole bunch of them by knockout in the first round. He has the right to be full of himself, but also as a person who, you know, I got a little bit of an ego too. I might not enjoy someone who's so like, I'm the best. Anyone with, you know, who does not lick my whole asshole is a hater, and I will punch you in the, like, dude, calm down. Like, not everyone is gonna love you. Justin Gaethje just seems like a more likable person. I've been a fan of his for a long time, so I'm hoping for my final UFC fight that Justin Gaethje shuts this dude up. All right, it's been long enough. Are they getting started? They still got the big fist up. Maybe they got struck by lightning. I'm gonna check in on Paramount Plus. This is on the YouTube. This is some weird like live, you know, I didn't want to get copyright struck. So I'll be back with the fights. Hopefully I ain't missed much. As you can see, I just hit the off button on my remote, so we're gonna have to wait for the television to reboot. In the meantime, yep, glasses on, shirt off. They're just going through the pageantry. It's okay, we can miss some of that, but I forgot about Michael Chandler, y'all. That's my bad for Michael Chandler. He got done dirty with the whole Conor situation. He's 42 now, so he also lost 2 years of his career. He's a much older fella. He gets a lot of heat for all that unwavering confidence, but I like that about him. He's an explosive dude. He looks like a lot less muscular this time around, so who knows what that means for his fighting skills, his ability, the outcome of the fight. Will we see a whole new Michael Chandler, or will this kind of be the end of his career? He came in explosive, but that reputation, that fire is kind of dwindling, but I'm rooting for him. All right, quick check-in. We're in the main event. As you can see, I'm not doing great. Win, loss, 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 loss. Ilia Topuria is being checked in by the doctor as we speak. His face is brutalized. He may not be able to continue. He's chugging Gatorade. The referee. Something's going on with doctors. This cocky son of a bitch may not go into the 4th round. The doctor is tracking his eyes as we speak. The doctor is saying no. The doctor says no. This is wild. The doctor says no. El Matador came in like a bull in a china shop and got chewed up in the 3rd round. The referee is like in the middle of it. None of this is good, Rogan says. They're gonna go. They're gonna go. 4th round, here we go. This dude can't even like, it's not registering. Toma. And no, Ilia Topuria is giving up on the stool. Toma way. The highlight, just in case, he has finished this man's soul. He has taken his will to move forward. Your boy can go out on a high note. I'm gonna hit the off button and I'll be back on the seat. But we back, baby. I mean, I'm gonna be out, but yo, just in case we just fucking obliterated Ilia Topuria. We're gonna talk about it. All right, we are back. The event is finished, and as you can see, I'm in full celebration mode. I got my drink in my right hand and my notes in my left hand. So let's kick things off with Diego Lopez. Cool guy, nice haircut, cool tattoos. Who's he fighting? Some dude, like not Diego Lopez. Shouts out to Diego Lopez. Big fan of that dude. But that's just the beginning of the card. Let's move forward. We got another win from my picks. I don't even call them picks. Like, I'm not betting on these dudes. Like, these are just the guys I want to win. I did not put any money down. I would not have put money down this way. Like, let's be clear on that. All of this is my favorites. None of this is like intellectually who I thought. But coming up in the second fight, we had Bo Nickel. Again, I'm not a big fan of this guy. I just wasn't a big fan of Kyle Dawkins. And I'm curious to see where Bo Nickel's career goes. He had a lot of hype. My big critique is he had a shout out to Trump in his speech after the fight, and I didn't really care for that. But the rest of it was kind of just like the typical, like, yeah, I'm here to improve, and, you know, I'm here to do my best. And like I said, he needs to work on being a babyface, and I feel like he accomplished that. And now it's time to get into the losses, because boy, did I have a few of them going up to the main event. starting with Michael Chandler. This guy came in with a lot of heat, as I mentioned, and has not been doing great. Dude's 42. He had a big muscle mass loss going into here. I thought maybe, he changed his diet. Maybe he's going to change his approach to fighting. He had some big explosive moments, but ultimately he did not get it done. He lost by TKO in the second round. Is that what it says? No, first round TKO for Michael Chandler. Oh boy, versus Hoofy, however they call it in Brazil. So, good job to Hoofy. Next, we had another upset. We had Derek Lewis taking on Josh Hokett, who just coming up next was another disappointment. Derek Lewis, drink to that, got his ass whooped by Josh Hokett. Dude was too fast, too accurate. He put it on him early in the first round and then finished him in the second round with a TKO finish. Just made it look easy. And Josh Hokett, after beating Curtis Blades and making that look easy, has a good opportunity to fight for whoever is the winner of Cyril Gane versus Tom Aspinall if he ever comes back from that eye poke. But also he called out Pereira. So maybe he uses Pereira as a stepping stone if he really is that guy. If he really is Hulk Hogan, the Incredible Hulk. If he really is the maniac that he pretends to be, he could use Alex Pereira to get the title shot against Aspinall and Cyril Gane. And that brings us to who's next? Ayman Zahabi. This isn't a guy that I particularly like. They mentioned that George St. Pierre's coach is this guy's brother, and that's why I somewhere buried in my memory is the name Zahabi. So yeah, I wanted him to beat Sean O'Malley. There's the name of the guy I didn't want to mention before. I do not like this guy. I kind of thought it was early stoppage. The guy got hit once real good. I'll admit that. He went down. He was rocked. Not saying he wasn't. Sean hit him again. He went down again. Not saying he was not hit twice real good. But he rolled over into a defensive position. The rules say you have to defend yourself intelligently. The dude took a shot, and within moments, he had rolled over and boom, put his fists up, ready to go. Is he coming in? No, he doesn't want to grapple. I'm going to stand up. I'm going to defend myself intelligently. Let me get myself up on my feet. And by then, the ref was already waving it off. So I get it. He did hit him real hard. I admit I am also a huge Sean O'Malley hater, but as someone with two eyeballs, I saw a guy who was defending himself intelligently, who was competently able to stand himself up. Despite being on the ground, he was not on the ground, not doing what he was supposed to be doing. He had his knees up, his hands up, he was ready to go. He was anticipating Sean coming in with the big ground and pound. When that didn't happen, Sean turned his back on him even. He was so caught up on his freaking Instagram moment doing the stupid salute that he was like, oh, this guy's facing his back. I could probably get up and boom, knock him out while he's not looking at me. Meanwhile, the ref's saying, no, the fight's over. So I wholeheartedly disagree with the referee stoppage based on Zahabi's ability to react and respond and be in the moment when the rules say you have to defend yourself at all times. I feel like he was doing that. You can call me a hater, and I am, but also, come at me, bro, with the argument. Also, I'm not going to follow UFC or cover this shit after this video, so leave it in the comment section. The algorithm needs it. Appreciate your love. That brings us to the co-main events, and oh my god, I was so blinded by the non-relatability of Alex Pereira. What he does is not inspirational, it's aspirational. The dude worked in a tire shop. He was an alcoholic. Here I am covering it with a drink in a hand, not saying I'm an alcoholic, but look, there are men and there are gods who walk among men, and you can be fooled into thinking that Alex Pereira is Herculean, half god, half man, the power and the hook. that left, bam, has put a lot of people down. I just wanted him to be great. I wanted him to shine. I wanted him to be the first ever 3-division champion. I believed it was possible. Why not? I will admit that throughout the week, I knew deep in my heart that the cat-like reflexes of Ciryl Gane is a bad matchup for a guy like Pereira who marches forward kind of slowly, kind of, straight on with his hands not particularly high and just wants to boom, bop you. And Ciryl Gane's not going for that. And he pieced him up. He moved around. He got to where he needed to be, and he hit Pereira over and over and over and over and over and over and over until he finally got the job done. I cannot say anything against Ciryl Gane. I don't even dislike the guy. The only time I rooted for him was against Jon Jones because I don't like Jon Jones, but every other time it's been against Tai Tuivasa or Derek Lewis, or in this case, my favorite fighter at the moment, Alex Pereira. I don't hate him. I respect him for his abilities, and he's constantly a thorn in my side. But usually, the guy I want to beat him will make him look like the guy who's always the runner-up, not the bride, but the bridesmaid, if you will. So this night, he came out the bride, and Alex Pereira, he showed less emotion than I did, let's be honest. I was distraught when he lost. He was just like, oh man, I guess, didn't happen tonight. Better luck next time. I'm like, no, this is my last chance. I might come back for the Conor fight, against Max, just to see him get pieced up. A little tangent here. Some of my greatest memories was Khabib beating Conor because I felt like this was inevitable. As soon as he got one hand on his ankle, I was like, yep, you're done. He's going to swallow you up like an alligator. And that's exactly what happened. Poirier, 2 times. He knocked him out, and then he snapped his ankle in half. Both times. Oh my God. It wasn't even like, oh, I'm nervous because he's facing Conor. What about the left hook? No, both times, or all 3 times, I was just so excited for Conor to have to eat what he serves, be humbled. I'm going to humble this chicken, Dana. Give me this chicken. That did not happen tonight with Pereira, but it is what it is, as Max Holloway says. And I think he's going to get it done against Conor. He tried to politic, take the weight class up to 170 against the guy who's never even, he's only done 155 a couple of times. And yet Conor only did 155 a couple of times. Conor also began as a 145er. It's not as if he has as big as an advantage as he pretends to have. It's just that he got all roided up and bloated up like a balloon on them steroids after he broke his leg. But Max has been in the cage, getting them rounds, getting the experience, and he has a natural confidence. They showed an interaction between the two of them during the fight. Conor was barking like a freaking dog off the leash. I'm gonna be punching you, lad. You're never gonna see me coming. Meanwhile, Max is just laughing at him like, bro, I'm gonna hit you so many times you're never gonna see it coming. He even stole his nickname. He said, I'm Mystic Max instead of Mystic Mac, just to get under his skin, and it worked so well. God. Just that alone had me like, all right, I know I said this was my last one, but there are exceptions. That Max versus Conor card is an exception. I will come back for that. But for the most part, yeah, I'm walking away from the sport. And that leaves us with the highlight reel, Justin Gaethje, who got his ass beat for 2 rounds. I mean, one of them might have been an 8-10 on the judges' scorecard. It was not looking good for my mans, but he took everything Poirier had to give. The grappling, the punches to the body, oh my God. But Justin was firing back. Even early on, like you could see after round 2 when Poirier was winning the fight, his face still looked mollywopped. It was cut and swollen. In rounds 3 and 4, Justin continued to put that pressure on. Topuria got tired after trying to get the finish in rounds 1 and 2. And Justin beat him so badly, the doctor had to come in and check on him. The doctor said, no, he can't continue. And the referee was like, nah, we're going to give him one more round. After round 4, the referee was like, nah, I heard what he said on the stool. He gave up on the stool. So Justin, the highlight reel Gaethje, is now the lightweight champion of the world, beating the most narcissistic man. I'm trying to play off the notorious one, Conor McGregor. The narcissistic one, Ilia Topuria. I get to ride off into the sunset. I had only 3 wins and 4 losses, but I feel like if you win the main event on your What I Want to Happen card, you get to be happy. This was an insane night. My ride with the UFC started out from a point of like, I don't even understand, like with the punching, did he connect or not? I don't know who's winning the fight. I kind of like the grappling because I have a better understanding. I wrestled in high school for a couple of years, so if he's pulling the leg over and he's got the neck, like I can read that. And as time grew on and went forward, I could better understand the striking, and then I began to fall in love with the personalities, with Trump in the mix and like Dana kind of checking out the fight night cards. I don't even watch that crap. Like the headliners are guys that I like may know of, but I don't care about those guys. Let's be honest. The pay-per-views are on Paramount now, but they're not stacked like they used to be. You might have one championship fight. Trump was saying they're going to have more title fights than they have divisions, and we had only 2. And yeah, if you throw the women in the mix, maybe you could stretch that number out. But there were no women on this fight card. You know why? Because Trump doesn't want to see women fight on his birthday. Not gonna happen. Those are my final thoughts. I wish I could give you more, but I can't be bothered to give a crap. I was a UFC fan for so long, and I scheduled my departure. I'm giving all I have to give, but also I'm stepping through the void, y'all. May you do the same at some point. Martial arts is still out there. I'm watching indie wrestling. I'm watching RAF, Real American Freestyle. I'm stepping my toes to just doing it myself in my living room because I have the training. I just haven't practiced in a while. So again, I suggest you do the same. Get active, participate, expand your mind and your body, and have a good night, y'all.